All right, what's up, everyone? So it's a vlog about how I got from audit to FP&A. I'm Dave. I'm a CPA, chartered professional accountant, and I was working for a Big Four accounting firm for actually 3 years. I was in audit, and I was tired of working long hours and actually not getting paid. So it's my first time vlogging in public. A little bit shy, but there will be no editing on this video, just raw footage material of me talking. So basically, what happened is I was 3 years in, and I was getting tired with the auditing world. So what I did actually is looking for a company that I loved. So as you can see on my backpack here, this is Ubisoft. So I was having a look at jobs at Ubisoft, and randomly there was an FP&A job for this company. So I really think you need to actually find a company that you love. That's the first step to make the jump into FP&A, because if you're not interested into the field of this company, let's say you're going for a construction company and you don't like construction, then I don't think you're going to get interested in your job, and it's going to show up. So I think it will be my first advice to actually find a company that you love to make the move, because it's kind of hard to make the jump. Like if you don't have any expertise, you probably have only your audit expertise, where you ask about budget, ask about actuals versus budget, variation and all of that analysis. You don't really have, something to tell them, hey, I did the job for a few years, so you can trust me. That's one thing. You need to get interested and really show your passion for the company. I think that will be a great place to start. So 3 years in for PwC, and then I swapped to Ubisoft, which I was doing, budget cost analysis. So basically, you probably know Assassin's Creed and all these video games. So I was doing the budget analysis for these video games, and planning the staff and having a look if we had cost exceed. I don't know how to say that in English, but my vlogging skills are pretty bad actually. So that's what I did. So I got in with a 6 month contract. It was full time, but only 6 months. But I was like, screw that shit. I'm YOLOing this, and I started the job. I actually loved it. One of my biggest projects was to work on a PowerPoint, a post-mortem, where we're analyzing all the costs and revenues of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So how much people we had on the project. Did we need more people, less people? Could we have done better? What did we do good? And all that kind of stuff. So it was a journey that actually lasted a year and a half. They renewed me to, they gave me a full-time contract, but the conditions were pretty bad. So anyways, I had to negotiate all of that. But I think what I can learn from this company is that it actually led me to my other job into FP&A. There's a car right here. So yeah, basically it led me to a job in, it's a SaaS company, software as a service. And actually this company is called Polka, and we sold, licenses such as, just like if you were selling Facebook licenses, And so what I was doing there is I was a FP&A manager. So actually my first job at Ubisoft led me to this more serious role, let's say it like that. And it was a hell of a journey. So then I had experience. So I would say, like, try to find a first job where you can get experience on the job, and then you can actually switch to something more serious, right? Don't be too picky on that first job. You just want that FP&A title. So you can actually find another job afterwards. So I got into Polka, and then 3 months into the job, I had to do a whole budget, because it was October, so it was budgeting time. So I had to get into that company. It was a SaaS company, software as a service, where I didn't know any of the ratios, and I didn't have much experience, right? I had this experience at Ubisoft, but it's not that much, right? I had 1 year and a half plus 3 years of audit. 3 years of audit, 1 year and a half of FP&A. And then we got into how I found the job. It's really important. It was just a Facebook post, and I knew the company, which is called Polka, from a previous working at PwC. She was one of her clients, so I already knew the company a little bit. I had some old colleagues that were working there, so I think that it helped. They knew me. I had a great name, a great reputation in the city. And let me switch hands here. And so yeah, that's how it's actually landed the job. So when I got in, my boss actually resigned. So I got in with no more boss, which is fine. She trained me for 2 weeks, and then she bailed. But that happens, right? And so that's one lesson, is that whatever happens, you're gonna get out alive. And yeah, so I got in 3 months in. We have to do the whole budget. I have to calculate every ratios and everything, and it's a hell of a journey. And then like venture capital world, it's time to raise a Series B, and that's the first time actually that I work more than in any accounting firm. So basically, we had to meet a lot of VCs. So we met, I don't know, I was on too many calls, maybe 30 calls, 40 calls. But my bosses, the CEO and CFO, were on many, many calls. But it was a great journey, we had to build all these financial ratios, all these Excel files, get in front of the people that actually don't really care about you. Someone told them, hey, go on this meeting, try to invest in this company. And we finally raised. So I joined on September 8th of 2020. And in, when was it? Was April of 21, we had the money in the bank account. So we raised $30 million in Series B funding, and it was a really great journey. So I know the video is called How to Get from Audit to FP&A, but I'm going a little bit further here. And then what happened with Polka, I said for 3 years, I was taking care of building all the board meetings deck, the quarterly reporting decks, taking care of tracking the sales, taking care of tracking the budget, taking care of telling all of the VPs if they were exceeding costs or not. Sorry, my voice is actually cutting here. I had a rough weekend. And so what else did we do? Taking care of the staffing. We're a high growth company. So we're like hiring 80 people every year. So making sure all of the VPs knew of their hiring plan, knew who they could hire, knew everything. Like I was a go-to guy for Excel help as well. And so I think I was actually bringing a lot of value. I was always in the meetings with the VPs and the CEO and the CTO, and that's nice because you get that feeling of importance, right? I will say it's really different if you're in a big company versus a small company. When I was working for Ubisoft, that's a big company, and I didn't really feel like I was moving the needle, right? Versus in a small company where you feel that you actually do move the needle. And so that was funny. So if you want to feel like you have a feeling of importance, that you move the needle, aim for a small company. And if you don't really care about that, you want to get your 35, 40 hours done, then you can pick a big company. In a small company, you're going to do a lot of tasks. Sometimes we're just building the furnitures to help with the small startup, and sometimes we're doing this whole budget thing. So that was my trip at Polka. And then 3 years later, we sold the company. So we had an M&A, an exit, which we sold for $200 million. And that was actually one hell of a journey. It was really nice, and I learned a lot. I used ChatGPT to prepare for my questions as well, because that was my first time doing M&A. And it was pretty insane. We were receiving a lot of questions, trying to make sure our pipeline was clean, trying to explain everything. And VCs are going back like 3 years back, like asking why this client churned and why this happened, and then you have to throw back. So you really have to be on top of your shit and know your numbers and know your Excel. And when you're presenting to them, you have to be sharp. So I think that was my journey from audit to FP&A, and now I'm doing full-time YouTube teaching Copilot and Microsoft Excel. So if you need any help on any of this, or if you just want career advice, I'm Dave. 30 years old, and I'm doing this whole vlogging style here in Quebec City, beautiful Quebec City. And yeah, here I am. Everybody's looking at me, and that's the first time doing it. Tell me in the comments if you like this format of video, completely raw, completely unedited, and ask me any question about my FP&A career or accounting career, or if you want to book a chat, go ahead. Peace.